7 signs that predict how long you'll live after 70. A wise old man's lessons. So, you want to know the secrets to a long life, huh? Well, let me tell you something. Your body has been giving you signals this whole time. You just have to know where to look. Now, listen carefully because the 6th lesson might just be the most important one of all. I highly recommend you don't skip it because it could change the way you think about aging forever. Number 1. Your walking speed tells me everything about you. Now let me ask you something. When you walk, do you move like you have somewhere to be? Or do you shuffle along like your feet are stuck in mud? Gus was 80, but if you saw him walking down the street, you'd swear he was in his 50s. That man walked like he had a purpose. Every morning, rain or shine, he took his daily stroll through the park, always stopping to chat, always greeting people with a nod. One day I asked him, "Gus, what's your secret?" He smiled and said, "Simple, I just never stop moving." Then there was Charlie. Same age, but every year he walked a little slower. First, he stopped going on walks altogether. Then he needed a cane. Eventually, he struggled just to get out of a chair. I remember seeing him at the grocery store one day. His legs shook when he stood. He looked tired just from walking down the aisle. Then one day, he had a bad fall. And let me tell you, for a lot of older folks, a bad fall is the beginning of the end. Your walking speed is a sign of how strong you are inside. If you slow down too much, it means your heart, muscles, and brain are slowing down too. What you can do: walk every day. It doesn't have to be fast, just keep moving. Keep your legs strong. Do a little leg lifting, stretching, or squats, whatever keeps those muscles working. Number 2. Can you stand on one leg for 10 seconds? Alright, let's try something. Stand up, lift one foot, count to 10. Feeling steady or wobbling like a newborn deer? Edna was 74, lived alone, did all her shopping, never asked for help. But one day, she tripped on a rug, broke her hip. I visited her in the hospital, and she said, "I don't understand. I've walked on that rug for years." That's the thing. Your balance fades slowly. You don't notice it until one day you fall. Edna never fully recovered. Within a year, she needed a walker, and not long after, well, you can guess the rest. What you can do: test your balance daily. Do balance exercises. Yoga, Tai Chi, even just standing on one leg a few seconds every morning. Number 3. Your grip strength is a secret to longevity. Now shake my hand. Go on. Don't be shy. Is it strong? Firm? Or does it feel like squeezing a wet sponge? My cousin Tom used to be strong, built like an ox. In his younger days, he could carry 2 buckets of water with one hand. But one day, he struggled to open a jar of pickles. He laughed it off, but I saw it in his eyes. He hated that he needed help. A few months later, he started struggling to stand up from a chair. Then stairs became hard. Before long, he was too weak to walk without assistance. That's when I realized, when your grip strength fades, so does your independence. What you can do: test your grip. Can you open jars? Carry groceries? Strengthen your hands? Squeeze a tennis ball? Carry small weights? Or do resistance? Number 4. If you're not eating right, you're in trouble. Ever seen someone lose weight without trying? It's not a good sign. My neighbor Doris loved cooking, but one year she just stopped eating as much. "I'm just not hungry," she said. But over time, she became frail and weak, and her body started shutting down. A loss of appetite isn't just aging, it's a warning sign. What you can do: eat real food, proteins, veggies, healthy fats. Don't skip meals. Number 5. If you're not sleeping well, that's a problem. Now let me tell you something. Sleep isn't just about feeling rested. It's when your body repairs itself. If you don't sleep well, your brain suffers, your heart weakens, and your energy drains. My old pal Benny never took sleep seriously. Stayed up watching TV, barely slept. "I'll sleep when I'm dead," he used to joke. Well, guess what? He got there faster than the rest of us. What you can do: stick to a sleep routine. Turn off the screens before bed. Number 6. The people who stay social stay alive. Carl was one of the liveliest guys I ever knew. He was the kind of man who never met a stranger. If you walked into a diner and Carl was there, you weren't leaving without a conversation. He loved talking about sports, old music, and that one time he swore he saw Elvis at a gas station. But when his wife passed away, something changed. First, he stopped going to the diner. Then he started missing our weekly poker nights. At first we figured, he just needs time. But the weeks turned into months. I called him once. No answer. Another time, straight to voicemail. One day, I decided to stop by his house. His car was in the driveway, but the front porch, where he used to sit every evening, was empty. I knocked. He finally opened the door. And let me tell you, he wasn't the Carl I remembered. His face was pale. His house was quiet. Too quiet. And when I asked how he was doing, he just shrugged and said, "I'm getting by." But he wasn't. Within 2 years, Carl was gone. And it wasn't because of some disease or accident. It was loneliness. See, people think loneliness just makes you sad. But it actually hurts your body too. Studies show that loneliness is as bad for your health as smoking a pack a day. It raises your risk of heart disease, depression, and even dementia. Humans are wired for connection. We're not meant to go through life alone. What you can do: call a friend today, even if you haven't spoken in years. Pick up the phone. Stay connected. Visit family. Join a club. Go to church. Even a short conversation with a cashier can brighten your day. Because the people who stay social stay alive. Number 7. How you handle stress will determine how long you live. Let me tell you about 2 old friends of mine, Albert and Louis. Albert was the kind of man who could lose his wallet on Monday, and by Tuesday, he'd be laughing about it. Louis, if he lost $5, he'd complain about it for a decade. Both of them went through their share of struggles. Their wives passed away. They had health scares, financial troubles, family drama, you name it. But how they handled stress made all the difference. Albert always said, "Worrying won't fix a thing." If something bad happened, he'd take a deep breath, find a solution, and move on. I remember one time his car broke down on the way to his grandson's wedding. Most people would have cursed, punched the steering wheel, and ruined their whole day. Albert? He called a cab, struck up a conversation with the driver, and still made it in time for cake. Louis? Total opposite. If something went wrong, he held on to it like a grudge. One time, We were sitting at a diner, and Louis started ranting about a neighbor who borrowed his lawnmower 15 years ago. I said, "Louis, do you even have that lawnmower anymore?" He said, "That's not the point." This man carried stress like luggage. His blood pressure was always high. He had constant headaches. And I swear, every conversation with him felt like a therapy session. Guess who lived longer? Albert made it to 91, still sharp as a tack. Louis, he had a heart attack at 74. Stress ages you. It weakens your immune system. It wears down your heart, your mind, and your relationships. The lesson? You can't always control what happens to you, but you can control how you react. What you can do: breathe, relax, laugh more. Seriously, find things that make you laugh. Let go of what you can't control. Holding on to stress is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to get sick. These 7 signs don't lie. And the good news? You can change them. So walk faster, keep your grip strong, sleep well, eat right, stress less, and stay social. Because life isn't just about living long, it's about living well. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this story inspired you, share it today. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more wisdom that changes lives. Until next time, remember, stay strong, stay moving, and stay connected.